Listen, Donald, Canada and Mexico are one thing, but please don't piss off China. I know you wrote The Art of the Deal, but they wrote The Art of War, okay?
The ancient Chinese military treatise, The Art of War, and Donald Trump's The Art of the Deal both claim to offer wisdom for navigating competitive landscapes. Yet, their approaches to conflict, risk, and victory are fundamentally incompatible. In the high-stakes, life-and-death scenario envisioned by Sun Tzu, Trump's transactional tactics, rooted in brash negotiation and short-term opportunism, would not only fail, but likely invite catastrophic consequences. Here's why. Sun Tzu's The Art of War is a survival manual for existential threats. Its philosophy prioritizes restraint, preparation, and systemic advantage over impulsive action. Key principles like winning without fighting and knowing oneself and the enemy demand humility, patience, and reverence for reality. Every decision is weighed against its potential to destabilize long-term stability. In contrast, the art of the deal glorifies aggressive self-promotion, tactical bluster. Trump's playbook: leverage hype, exploit ambiguity, and dominate negotiations through sheer force of personality, is designed for environments where failure carries limited consequences. In Sun Tzu's world, such tactics would collapse under the weight of their own recklessness. Imagine a general employing Trump's think big and exaggerate strategy in war, boasting about phantom armies or inflated resources might briefly intimidate an enemy. But once deception is exposed, and it always is, the loss of credibility would invite annihilation. Sun Tzu warns, all warfare is based upon deception, but this deception is calculated and grounded in truth, not hollow theatrics. Sun Tzu's strategies are built for infinite games, conflicts where the goal is to perpetuate existence and adapt across generations. Victory is measured not by a single battle, but by sustaining a state's sovereignty and morale. Resources are conserved, alliances nurtured, and escalation avoided unless absolutely necessary. The art of the deal, however, is a handbook for finite games, one-off transactions where relationships are disposable, and winning means extracting maximum value from the moment. Trump's emphasis on flexible truces and zero-sum thinking might secure a temporary advantage, but it erodes trust and invites retaliation in prolonged conflicts. For example, a CEO used Trump-style tactics to strong-arm suppliers might secure a cheaper contract today, but in Sun Tzu's framework, this risks alienating partners, poisoning future collaboration, and leaving the company vulnerable to counterattacks. The art of war would instead advocate for win-win alliances. That is, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Ensure long-term resilience. For Sun Tzu, war is a matter of life and death, a realm where failure means obliteration. His strategies prioritize risk mitigation, avoiding battles unless victory is near certain, retreating when outmatched, never provoking unnecessary enemies. The art of the deal thrives on risk amplification. Trump's philosophy, embracing chaos, bluffing, and doubling down on audacity, assumes that adversaries can be bullied into submission. Yet, in warfare, or its modern equivalents like geopolitics and corporate wars, Such gambits often backfire. A single miscalculation in timing, perception, or enemy resolve can spiral into irreversible defeat. Example: during the Cuban Missile Crisis, Kennedy's advisors debated a Trump-like show of strength by bombing Soviet installations. Instead, Kennedy chose Sun Tzu-esque restraint, a naval blockade paired with secret diplomacy. By leaving Khrushchev an exit ramp, he averted nuclear war. An art of the deal approach, public ultimatums, and chest thumbing might have ended civilization. While the art of war is pragmatic, it operates within implicit ethical guardrails. Sun Tzu condemns wanton destruction, like the highest form of generalship is to thwart the enemy's plans, and values leaders who inspire loyalty through virtue. Deception is tactical, not a lifestyle. The art of the deal, by contrast, treats ethics as negotiable. Trump's mantra, fight back harder, normalizes ruthlessness, even at the cost of one's reputation. In Sun Tzu's paradigm, however, a leader's moral authority, that is, the way, is critical to maintaining troop cohesion and civilian support. A commander caught lying habitually would lose both. For example, in 1994, Trump's casinos declared bankruptcy, leaving investors and contractors unpaid. While this deal saved his personal wealth, it burned bridges and tarnished his credibility, a survivable outcome in business but a fatal flaw in war, where desertion and mutiny follow broken trust. In today's complex conflicts, whether US-China rivalry or corporate warfare, Sun Tzu's lessons remain fundamental. Leaders like Putin in Ukraine or Musk in competitive industries succeed by mastering patience, asymmetry, and psychological dominance. Meanwhile, art of the deal tactics, tariff tantrums, erratic threats, or Ellen's funding secured tweet often trigger unintended consequences, from trade wars to SEC investigations. China's Belt and Road Initiative reflects Sun Tzu's winning without fighting, building economic dependencies to expand influence. A Trumpian counterpart, say, threatening sanctions to extract concessions might yield short-term gains, but accelerate global coalitions against the aggressor. The art of the deal works in arenas where failure is survivable. Relationships are transient, and spectacle can mask substance. But in Sun Tzu's domain, where stakes are existential, time horizons stretch beyond lifetimes, and trust is currency. Its methods are not merely ineffective but suicidal. To paraphrase Sun Tzu, victorious warriors win first and then go to war. Defeated warriors go to war first and then seek to win. The former requires the discipline of the art of war. The latter, the recklessness of the art of the deal, belongs only on reality TV. That's where Donald Trump belongs to, not as the President of the United States.